Hi guys. So sorry I can't be there. I know last week was kind of a mess, and unfortunately, I won't be able to be there for a while. My son was diagnosed with COVID-19 over the weekend, so I am hunkered down here at home. Know that I miss you guys and wish I was there with you, but we'll pick up where you guys are going to leave off. You have an awesome guest teacher, and I want to make sure that we keep moving along within our assignments. That being said, I have been grading, and I noticed that we have kind of gotten a little bit stuck on this assignment here. Now you can see I'm in last Thursday's folder, and that's where I want you to go today. Why I want you to go back there is because I wanted to quick go over the assignment, the point of what we're doing here, and where you should be within your own planning. So right now, you guys have completed, you should have completed your personal narrative brainstorming packet. All right, if you have not completed it, you have to get this done. This is step number one in starting this entire project, and you're not going to get very far if you haven't completed this. So the point of this is that you guys come up with a story that has happened to you, and you are going to put it into writing to show growth and development and something impactful that has happened to you in your life to make you who you are today. Okay? So it's very important that you look to something important that has happened to you and not necessarily just a funny story. It has to be something that has had some sort of meaning for you. It's okay if it's funny, but it has to have a point to it. That's very important, okay? So you guys did this with me. You were supposed to finish these sentences. Again, you don't have to complete all of them, but I do recommend it if you are struggling to figure out what you want to talk about. I definitely want you to notice the language in here. A time when I felt rejected, something I regret, something very few people know about me, something I'm really proud of, even some of my fears, or a time when I felt satisfied, something that I failed at. Again, failures mean that you can learn from them. Rejections mean you can learn from them. Even regret you can learn from. It's really important that you take this seriously, you guys, so that we can get this college essay completed. Even if you're not going to apply to college, you still want to have this experience of writing a personal narrative. After this first page, you're going to go to step two. Now you're going to be doing a free write for 5 to 10 minutes. All right, minimum 5 minutes, you guys. Put a timer on your phone, whatever, and ask yourself as you go, what was most interesting or memorable about this? What images come to mind when you think about this topic? I want to see some really solid creative writing with this. Again, this is true and has happened to you. So do you picture a person, a scene, a place? Maybe there's a smell. Maybe you remember some sort of music, something. All right. This is harkening back to like 6th grade writing. I know you guys can do this. Just really start thinking about everything that was around you while this event occurred. Okay. Feelings. Talk about your feelings, how you felt, what you thought. All right. Now, resolution and reflection. These sentence starters are intended to help you to unpack what you learned from this experience, okay? Is also supposed to point out what you want your readers to take away from reading this piece of writing, all right? Try the sentence starters, get some information down on them. All of this, even if you did it physically in person on the packet, needs to be put into the online packet. The reason for that is because I'm here, and we also want to have it located somewhere that we can't lose. All right, so make sure to get all of this information transferred into the online personal narrative brainstorming steps 1 through 3. All right, and that is in week 3, day 12. Okay, right here. Here's the worksheet. Get it done, get it filled out, submit it. Okay. All right, because this is the one I'm going to be grading, you guys. So get this done. Once you've completed that, or if you have completed that, go back into day 13 here. You know the instructions, you guys read that last week, okay? I want you to go to the presentation and I want you to read through it, okay? What this is talking about is narrative arc, all right? Now you guys probably remember something along the lines of this from any language arts class you've taken, right? There's a narrative plot structure, all right? You're going to have your exposition. They use the term orientation here. Basically, where is the story set? Who are the main characters? You're establishing all of that information. You're doing setting, characterization, and you're situating it in a certain time period, whatever's going on. Remember, this is a real story, you guys, something that actually happened to you. It is a nonfiction story. You are not making up a story here, okay? Then you have your rising action. So what's happening that's leading up? You're going to introduce your conflict at that point. You're going to be leading up. You're going to be building up your characterization. You're going to be telling us what's happening. And then you get to the climax. And that's the most exciting part of this story. That's the turning point, is the climax in the story. A lot of people get confused about that. It's the turning point. And then you have falling actions. So how did you resolve the problem? What happened after the fact? Okay. And then you have your resolution, which is basically the end of the story, how things conclude. All right. So if we go back to this narrative arc here, and we're talking about how all good stories have a somebody, that's you're the character, and anyone else who was with you at that time, and you want to do something, right? That's how we move forward with it. That's how our story keeps moving. But something happens, and there's your conflict. So more action results, which leads to a resolution. So somebody wanted something, but something happened. So more of this happened. All right. This is the somebody wants, but so that is discussed within this assignment. All right. So basically what you're doing is you're trying to figure out all of this. So this is your somebody wanted, but, and then so, and then you tell the rest of it, right? And then this happened here at the end. All right. Here's another visualization. Somebody, who is this story about? All right. It's about you, but who else? What's going on, right? Who else is included in this story? What did you want to do? And then what happened? But what happened? What happened to stop what you wanted to do? What happened to make you get to that point? And then what did you try to do? There's the climax or the turning point. What did you do? And then how was the problem solved? All right. Again, this is all just a different way of setting up a plot structure. Okay. So if you need to think of it in the mountain format, great. If you want to think of it as somebody wanted, but so then, great. However it works for you, but remember that there are specific parts to every story. All right. So after reading the Ballad of Tribute Steve, you need to go in and answer these questions. Okay. What is the basic somebody wanted, but so of this story? You can even put it down somebody, colon, write down who that somebody is. What did they want? Wanted, colon, put it down there. That's okay to do that. However it works best for your thinking. How does the writer establish and heighten the conflict via details about who she is, what she wants, and how she feels? Where specifically does she do that? Pull a quote, you guys. Put a quote in here of where that conflict occurs and where they lay that out. What other elements of classic dramatic structure can you find? How does this writer transition between them? For instance, after the narrator walks off the stage, how does she take us forward in time? What other transitions can you identify? There's a whole lot of questions in this one question. Make sure you answer all of them. And then talk about what the role of the final paragraph is. Don't skip this question. This question is very, very important. Okay, so if we go back here, remember that the so leads to a resolution. Hint, hint. Okay, guys? Now, The Ballad of Tribute Steve. A lot of you guys actually read the wrong short story. So let's go in here and look at what's going on with that. Now, this is a whole pile. It has a whole list of our mentor texts in here. The first one is not the one you're going for. Okay, it's not even titled it. Okay, so keep going. It's actually about, I think, 2/3 of the way down. Maybe halfway. Nope, keep going. See, there we go. The Ballad of Tribute Steve, right there. Okay, yeah, it's like almost the whole way down. Go and read this completely. All right, read it completely. It's actually a little bit long. It's actually not long at all, you guys. It's like a page and a half. But get it done. It's the last mentor text within this. Now, this, when we talk about a mentor text, what we're talking about is that this is a piece of writing that you are aspiring to. Your personal narrative should be to this quality, okay? We're aspiring to this. We want our work to be as good as these mentor texts, okay? We want to not necessarily make ours like it because your story is going to be unique to you, but you want it to be of this caliber, all right? This is supposed to act as an example of what we're looking for. All right, so that's The Ballad of Tribute Steve. You're going to complete that. Now, back to where we were here with the assignment. This second page, this is your narrative arc, okay? This is your story, your nonfiction story that you're going to be using, that you came up with, you chose from that brainstorming list, and now you're going to plot it out, okay? Who are the characters in your story? Obviously, you're one of them, okay? But tell me how old you are at that point. Who else is in your story? Maybe you have a family member, friends, maybe there's your pet. Where, like, who's there, okay, in this story? What does your character want? What do you want? What is the whole point of this? Maybe your sibling wanted something and you're telling the story about that. Maybe it's actually something that's a lot larger. Maybe you were within a war at a time, right? What is it that you guys are trying to do and trying to accomplish? How is your plot moving forward? Tell me about the conflict. There's but. What conflict will happen to prevent my character from getting what is wanted? All right? What's the conflict? What's the hiccup? What's the catch? What's going on? And then, so what is the result of the conflict? In other words, how will the narrative resolve? Remember, we get to the peak of the mountain and we come back down and there's that resolution. That's where we are. I want to know how your falling action and resolution occurs. Okay. That's going to be like last couple of paragraphs, if not last paragraph. How does it going to end? And this is, again, your story, your nonfiction story, not anybody else's, not a fictional story, nothing. This is yours. Okay. All right, then once we come back here and we go back into Thursday, you complete that assignment and you submit it to me. I've unsubmitted everybody's assignments, even if you've submitted it to me, because everyone was struggling with it. So please go back, get that finished, and hand it in, all right? I need you guys to buckle down and get it done. I know it's not easy, but I know you can do it. And hopefully with these instructions, you can get there. Ask your guest teacher. They're there to help. They're awesome. And you can also ask a partner. It's okay to ask each other for help. How are you doing this? How are you completing this? What do you think we're supposed to do here? You guys got this, all right? And we're going to do this with multiple mentor texts. So this is just the first step in a line of ones we're going to be tackling. Let me know if you have any questions. You guys know you can always message me on Schoology, but definitely utilize the guest teacher there. They're there to help, okay? And ask each other, and we'll get through this assignment, okay, guys? Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you soon.